Hello, and today we're going to take a look at how to use addition with integers. The first thing we need to clear up is what an integer is. An integer is any positive or negative whole number. We're not talking about just positives and negatives, but they have to be whole numbers. So in this case, the numbers should be fairly simple for us to work with. Now, on the page in front of you, you'll see that I do have an integer operations song. And the integer operations song is sung to the tune of Row, Row, Row Your Boat. And I'm not going to hurt any of your ears or put you through any painful renditions on my account. But you'll see the lyrics here. And it's same sign, add and keep, different sign, subtract. Use the sign of the bigger number and you'll be exact. And you guys can kind of get an idea what that tune would sound like. But I want to show you just 4 simple problems here where we can apply these rules and you guys can go ahead and transfer that knowledge to some of the bigger problems that you're going to see later on. So let's take a look at the first example. In the first example, we have 4 plus 4. Now, in 4 plus 4, we have 2 numbers and they are both positive. So we would be looking at the same sign, add and keep portion of our rhyme. So since they're the same sign, it tells us to go ahead and add them together. So 4 plus 4 is 8. So I'm going to put my 8 down. And it says to keep, which means keep the sign. So since they're both positive, we're going to have a positive 8. Now, with a positive 8, I'm not going to go ahead and write in the positive because that becomes confusing. So we leave it alone. The problem to the right, however, has a negative 5 and a negative 5. So negative 5 plus negative 5. Well, they're both the same sign because they're both negative. And so we're going to follow the same rule. Same sign, meaning both negative, add them together. 5 plus 5 is 10. It tells us to keep the sign. In this case, they're both negative, so we keep the negative and we have an answer of negative 10. Now let's move to the second level. At the second level, we're going to have 2 numbers. Whoops, a little bit of a eraser mark there. So let me go ahead and erase that for you guys. Get rid of that. Sorry about that. And what we have here is we have a 3 and a negative 7. So 3 and negative 7 shows us that we have 2 different signs. We have a positive 3 and a negative 7. So we're going to follow the second portion of our rhyme up here. Different sign, subtract. And what that means is to subtract the 2 numbers. Doesn't mean that you have to necessarily follow rules, but we're just going to take the bigger number of 7, subtract 3, and get a 4. Now, which sign do we use? It tells us to use the sign of the bigger number. Well, we just said that the 7 was a little bit bigger. We're not talking about greater than or less than. We're just saying the number is bigger. So, because there's more negatives, we have a negative 4. Now, the fourth example has a negative 8 and a positive 15. Again, different signs. Subtract them. 15 minus 8 is 7. Now, you probably already guessed it. The 15 is bigger, so we'll use that sign. So since the 15 is positive, it's positive 7, and I don't need to write that down. So hopefully you guys will find that the integer song helps set your mind at ease and helps you have a set of rules to follow. Same sign, add and keep. Different sign, subtract. Use the sign of the bigger number, and you'll be exact.